what I recommend her doing is maybe you get a little paper towel like this, like he did in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. That's what the people want.
You know, it's so utterly demeaning that this is what Fox does each and every day, saying that Vice President Kamala Harris should throw paper towels at people. We're talking about human beings, damn it. And Fox hosts like Jesse Waters and Laura Ingraham spread their propaganda in ways that would make North Korea blush. Let me just show you on a very serious day when it's so vital to be uniting our country and reporting the news, what filth was going on at Fox. And I want to call it out so we can expose it together here on the MeidasTouch network. So in addition to saying that, Jesse Waters was saying, you know what? Governor Walz just isn't really a man. He's not manly enough, not really a good athlete. You can just tell. What are you even talking about, Jesse Waters? Play this clip.
To young men, so they're trying to use Walz like that. And men just look at another man and you can kind of know if he's an athlete. Kind of look at the way he can go down the stairs or throw something, catch a lighter, just maneuver his body in that way. You look at this guy. I've never even seen him throw a football. He goes to a game, doesn't throw a football. Never seen him hit a golf ball. I've never seen him really do anything athletic. Meanwhile, I've seen Trump hit a tennis ball, hit a golf ball, throw a football, catch a baseball. I've seen him do all of that. So there's a lot of mystery around Walz. We don't really know if he's even a good shot. I mean, I know Trump's sons are good shots. They're better shots than some of the Secret Service agents.
Are you talking about when they kill all the endangered wildlife?
No, I'm talking about sharpshooting.
Oh.
Then you had Laura Ingraham, who was blaming the hurricane on DEI initiatives. Play this clip.
Will they drop all their DEI regulations, any that still exist, to ensure that people get the help they need as fast as possible? Legit.
As Stuart Beckham says, it's just mean-spirited racism at this point. If winning the news cycle is so important that one is willing to spew this type of rhetoric, it says a lot about the editorial and moral choices of the operation and these people. Here, Laura Ingraham talks about J.D. Vance's lower favorability ratings. Play this clip. That's in anticipation of the debate. Let's play it.
But Monica, isn't it because Vance actually takes the media to task when they say something really stupid, like shouldn't corporations pay their fair share? Like one of the dumb, typical cliches of modern debate?
Yeah.
Here, Laura Ingraham just lies because it's a propaganda network and says what Donald Trump would have done over the past 10 days is that he would have activated the federal government. He would have people working long nights. Here, play this clip.
Now, if Trump had been president over the past 10 days, a lot of people in the federal government would have been working a lot of nights and on the weekend to prepare for this hurricane.
No, what Donald Trump would be doing is saying, like a miracle, it's all going to go away. And he would say what he said at the press conference today. No one knew this could happen. It's at the end of the hurricane season. No, we're in the middle of the hurricane season. Here's what Donald Trump said after watching the Ingraham clip. Here, watch this clip right here.
That's our big one. And the devastation wrought by this storm is incredible. It's so extensive. Nobody thought this would be happening, especially now it's so late in the season for the hurricanes.
And just to be clear, when you look at Project 2025, it would eliminate things like FEMA. It would get rid of federally backed flood insurance. It would cancel emergency disaster relief for state and local governments. Just lie after lie after lie. Here, Jesse Waters says, have you ever seen young Americans goes crazy for Kamala? No one's going crazy for her. Here, play this clip.
Enthusiastically courting the youth vote, promising the return of the American dream. Have you ever seen young Americans go crazy for Kamala?
But actually, Jesse Waters, at each of her rallies where there's actually massive crowds, unlike Donald Trump's teeny tiny rallies, there are people who are very enthusiastic in supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. But you don't want your own Fox viewers to know that. Here, let me show you what went down Sunday night in Las Vegas, Nevada at the rally that Vice President Kamala Harris played. Play this clip. And just so you can see what Donald Trump did during the devastating hurricane in Puerto Rico, he went there and started chucking paper towels at people. Here, watch this. And do you remember then what the Fox propaganda machine was saying? They had the Pennsylvania governor at the time, Ed Rendell, on, and then you had Laura Ingraham saying, "Oh, this was such a great moment. The people loved him there as he was chucking the paper towels at them." Play this clip.
I don't want to hear that Donald Trump is a compassionate president. Is this the guy who threw paper towels out to hurricane victims in Puerto Rico?
Are you kidding me?
He's a compassionate guy.
Are you honestly saying that when the president, who had an unbelievable reception when he was there, he was tossing out stuff. He had a great reception when he was there in that center where he visited. And I get what the left does. You know, they take a snippet, and they throw, oh, it's terrible. That's again, I'm about to take back my comment that you were so pragmatic, even though I love you, Gov. The president has done more for the working people than the Democrats did in 8 years under Obama. He's done more for the working people. You can take a snippet and complain about the paper towels, but that doesn't prove jack about what this president has done. But that shows a lack of compassion.
I just want to show you that this is what they do every day. They wake up, they're an arm of the Trump campaign, they're part of the propaganda machine, they are the propaganda machine behind it, and they spew this each and every day. So people wonder, why is this country so divided? It's because people are getting lied to every day and fed this filth. But there is one pro-democracy voice on Fox. It's Jessica Tarlov, and he or she is some strong pushback here by her. Play this clip.
Jessica, how do you see it? Dramatically differently from how my colleagues see it. So just a couple notes. Trump closes strong in Georgia. He lost Georgia. So I guess if someone had found him 11,237 votes, it would have gone better, but he's a loser there.
I meant by campaign activity.
Oh, he shows up a lot and people see him and then they vote against him. Starlink, there are 40 satellites that are already going. Okay. In Maui, by the way, the $700 was the FEMA limit. So Donald Trump and his supporters are running the same old tired playbook that they did with Maui and they did with East Palestine. So not only was Joe Biden on top of this, he signed the disaster declarations even before the storms hit to make sure that there would be no delay in goods and services. Donald Trump's social media posts contain blatant lies, like Governor Kemp can't reach the president. Governor Kemp gave a press conference yesterday where he said, I just spoke to the president. He has promised me every single thing that I need. McMaster from South Carolina, also a conservative, getting everything that he wants, and then Roy Cooper as well. And there's only one president that we are talking about who actually has denied relief for one of these states. In 2017, Roy Cooper asked after Hurricane Matthew for a lot of money, and he got 1% of his ask. They denied 99% of what he was asking for after that hurricane came. There are 3,300 FEMA personnel there, 5,500 National Guardsmen from 11 states, and search and rescue from 19 states. That doesn't reduce the devastation of this and how horrific it is, but to say that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are out to lunch during this, or they're sitting on a beach reclining there, they are clearly giving them what they need. They will be showing up when it is appropriate. And it's different for Donald Trump, who is not in office. He's just a guy trying to be president again, to show up and throw some bounty at people, versus someone who's actually the commander in chief and doesn't want to distract from what's going on. And as Dana said, Governor Cooper said, I will let you know when it is appropriate for you to come. And same goes for Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee. Yeah, all of it.
Tennessee also.
Here she is again talking about Georgia. Play this clip.
Just a couple notes. Trump closes strong in Georgia. He lost Georgia. So I guess if someone had found him 11,237 votes, it would have gone better, but he's a loser there.
I meant by campaign activity.
Oh, he shows up a lot and people see him and then they vote against him.
You have Kellyanne Conway continually referring to J.D. Vance as J.D. Walls. Play this clip.
A couple of reasons. The mainstream media and other Democrats did a really stupid thing with J.D. Waltz. They tried to drown him out in the first 2 days after Trump picked him. They turned the spigot full blast. That's not how you hurt someone. You hurt them drip by drip, but they said, let's put it all out there. And he survived. He thought Trump would just leave him out to sea with no lifeboat. The opposite happened. She
does it again, but she's doing it all night. Play this clip.
So I have high expectations for J.D. Waltz tomorrow.
You know, and one of the things with Fox is that then corporate media buys into all of the, it's not even conservative framing, because that filth I showed you isn't conservatism. It's just MAGA weirdo cult propaganda. Call it what you want, but it's not conservative. It's not conserving our institutions. It's tearing apart our institutions and common sense. But then the corporate media, which has brain worms and is kind of just doesn't even know how to report anymore, they then go and they go to President Biden. They go, do you think this has impacted your response time because you were in Delaware versus Washington, D.C.? Watch President Biden's response.
In retrospect, do you wish that you had put more resources in North Carolina, knowing what you know now? And do you wish that you spent the weekend here in Washington rather than in Delaware?
Come on, stop that game. When you rather than Delaware, it's 90 miles from here, okay? I was on the phone the whole time working on that. And the resources, the question is not whether we get more, this is a list of every resource we're getting in there, but the question is how to get it in. It's hard to get it from point A to point B. It's hard to get it if some of these roads are wiped out, communities are wiped out. There's no ability to land, there's no ability to get trucks through, there's no ability to get a whole range of things through. So, I mean, anyway, Mr. President, when I sound frustrated, I am.
And here President Biden, when confronted by the press again, spewing MAGA talking points by Donald Trump and others that he's not giving assistance to governors. He's just like, they're lying. Why are you even repeating their stupid lying talking points? Listen to what the governors have to say. Here's President Biden.
Mr. President and Governor Cooper, Donald Trump has accused both of you of ignoring the disaster.
He is lying. Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. The governor told me he was lying. I've spoken to the governor, I spent time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me, but I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are. And you spoke to the governor, I assume you heard the Republican governor of Georgia talk about that he was on the phone with me more than once. So that's simply not true, and it's irresponsible.
And I think you should listen to what the governors have to say. Here's the Republican governor from Georgia, Brian Kemp, fact-checking Donald Trump, that he did get all the support he needed. Play the clip.
I just spoke. The president just called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, hey, what do you need? And I told him, you know, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate that.
And here is the Republican governor of Virginia as well. Play this clip.
I'm incredibly appreciative of the rapid response and the cooperation from the federal team at FEMA. I've been on the phone over the weekends with the senior FEMA administrator. The team has been deployed. We had our declaration of emergency processed in an expedited way over the weekend and was finalized yesterday.
And here is the Republican governor of South Carolina, Governor McMaster. Play this clip.
So this is a great team effort, and I assure you it's going to be done, but this is one that is going to take a lot of patience. We got the team. We have the equipment. The federal government is helping us well. They're embedded with us, and there's no asset out there that we have not already accessed.
But yes, Donald Trump goes to a disaster zone, diverts the attention of first responders, builds a podium from the disaster rubble around him, and then just spews lies. But we should remember when Donald Trump withheld support from blue states, like where Governor Cooper of North Carolina says he was not given the resources he needed by Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had previously said that he would withhold resources from states that he didn't like. That's what he says. I withhold resources from blue states. Play this clip.
You also said the president wanted to withhold FEMA disaster aid from California during the wildfires. What fires are you talking about there? What happened with the aid? How is it communicated that it should be withheld?
Georgia, I wish I could tell you this was a one-time thing. In fact, it's not lost to me that today we're talking about California wildfires, because the first time we went through this was in 2018. And the president at the time would get into these phone rants with us, the secretary and myself, about Jerry Brown and how frustrated he was with Jerry Brown and later Gavin Newsom because they didn't support him. And he didn't feel like he had a base of supporters in California. So as wildfires were burning down houses in the state, the president basically said to us, I don't care. These people haven't done enough to deserve it. Cut off the money. In fact, that phone call that I referenced with FEMA officials The Secretary and I were so concerned because we didn't want our senior leadership to be exposed to how undisciplined and tumultuous the White House was, because it made it harder for them to do their jobs. So after that call, FEMA officials said, what do we do? The president has just told us to cut off money to people whose homes are burning down. Our answer was, we're not going to do it. Don't worry, we'll go back to the president. But then, George, months after it, again in January 2019, the president said he wanted to do it. And again, I think subsequently he tweeted about doing it. Fortunately, it never happened. FEMA didn't follow through on it because I think they ultimately determined from the lawyers that a tweet wasn't an official order. But this is what we're talking about here, having to play whack-a-mole with bad presidential decisions rather than just doing the work of governing.
So I want to make sure you had all of the facts right there. And you can judge for yourself. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. And thank you for watching.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.